welcome to Knockoff Rugby. The Springbok squad, or the Springbok team to play in Wellington against the All Blacks in Test 2 has been announced. Fairly early, I might add. It is a early Monday morning here where I am in the UK. And I assume the squad was announced, sounds like late afternoon in New Zealand on a Monday. So this is a very big turnaround in terms of what we did last week. Last week, Rassie decided to name the squad very late, actually after the All Black squad got dropped. And they said that they didn't quite know what to expect from the All Blacks in terms of selection, and they also wanted to hide their hands a bit. Now, that's very strange because I actually think that the second team is a far more experimental team in terms of the Springboks than the first team. I think this side would have been far harder to predict than the side that played on Saturday last. So that's a strange. The reasoning there to me doesn't add up. But I'm not there, so that's just all speculation and opinion from me. Look, the side that I'm about to tell you or put up on the screen here is I really like it. I think it's what we needed. I think it's got a bit of spark. It seems like we are going to play a bit of a faster game this week. Now, I did check the weather. Obviously, we're still a week out, so things could change. But it seems much drier underfoot than last Saturday, than this past Saturday in Eden Park. So perhaps that's what they're thinking. There is still 20% chance of rain, so there might still be a bit of dampness around, which could negate this strategy. But perhaps we going to try and swing the ball around, or maybe that's what we trying to sort of poker face our way to. Maybe we're going to play a bit more tighter with this group as well. I doubt it, but let's see. So let's go through them. So it's Oxen Chair, Malcolm Marks, Thomas du Toit, the same three that started on Saturday and got a bit of purchase, I might add, in the scrum time. They're all prolific ball carriers, and I know Ox and all three of them actually can get over the ball, which I don't think we got enough of on Saturday. So hopefully they can show a bit more of those skills this Saturday coming. Then we've got Lood de Jager and Ruan Nokia. Ruan Nokia, I thought, had a good game on Saturday. I thought he's got an engine, and Lood de Jager certainly sort of eased up the lineouts when he came on. So maybe that's what they're going for. Both world class. I like them both, so I don't think we're missing much there. Eben being excluded completely is a big surprise to me. I'm not sure. He hasn't had his best couple of games over the last couple of weeks, so maybe they're just trying to get his form up, get his confidence up. I'm sure we'll see him back in South Africa against Argentina. Then we've got Kolisi, Pieter-Steph du Toit, and Jasper Wiese. Absolutely our strongest back three. Our strongest back row. I don't think, if Cameron Hanekom was even if he was available, I still think he's second in line to any of those players. So really good back row. Really excited to see what they can do now that Sia's actually playing in the position that he is known for, and we've got a recognised eighth man, which we have not had for a couple of games now, and I think it's made a big difference. It's caused upset in the back row in general because you don't have an eighth man, so you're taking a sixth flanker, putting him to 8, and he's a part-time 8, and then you putting a sixth flanker that in Van Staden, who played well last game. I'll give him that, but I think Sia fits that role far more, and Van Staden fits the role coming off the bench. Kobus Reinach, Sacha Feinberg-Mngomezulu, or Sacha FM. I mean, both of them had a real effect on the last game when they came off, and I like the selection. I'm still in two minds about Reinach. I think it's a missed opportunity for maybe someone like Krappies, or even Grant Williams, giving him a chance back. But, they did say in the beginning of the season that no player will play more than 10 tests this year, so out of the 15. So maybe this is I don't know if I would rest some of our premium players during this game, but perhaps that's their thinking. Look, give it to Reinach. He did settle things. Things did flow a little bit better when he came on last week. So perhaps that's a bit of a knee-jerk. Although, considering how early the side has been named, I think this side was known, obviously, before even the last game, before maybe last week, So yeah, so they were probably planning this. I like it. I like it. I know I had my reservations about Cobus Reinach, and I still do. Absolutely, he is slower at the ruck than Grant Williams, and Kruppies for that matter. But perhaps they're looking for a bit of a calmer head. So let's see how he goes. Maybe I'll be proven wrong. Sacha FM, he was electric when he came on. He made an absolute difference. Willie Leroux was. I don't want to bash the guy. He's had an incredible career, and I have a lot of respect for him. And I've liked Willie Leroux for a long time, but I do think now, especially after that performance, that it's time for us to maybe move to greener pastures in terms of our fullbacks. We have so many. We don't really need to be placing our reliance on Willie Leroux, in my opinion. He has his 100th test and he deserves it, and he's going to be a legend in South African rugby. But it is time to now move on. And there's potentially other players that we have in the side that before the World Cup will need the same thing, So, yes, so I like Sacha FM. Then we've got in the centres Damian Willemse and Canan Moodie. This was a huge surprise for me. I did not see this coming. Damian Willemse, I said he needed minutes. I thought maybe in the fullback position. So in the centres, that's quite a surprise. I do think this somehow has I don't know. I have a really good feeling about this. It's very different. It's very out there. I know he does it for the Stormers, but doing it for the Springboks, he's done it once or twice. He's played 10 for the Springboks. I don't know. This with Canan Moodie feels right in a way. Just for this game. I'm not saying this is going to be our premium pair. Probably third choice pairing in terms of our centre pairings, but I just feel that this is the way to go for this game in particular. A little bit of a bounce back, maybe a couple of fancy tries. Let's see. Then we've got the back three: Ethan Hooker, Cheslin Colby, and Apele Lefasi. Now I like this. I thought that two of these guys should have started last game, which is obviously Cheslin Colby, who did start, and then Fassi at fullback in place of Leroux. Anyway, I won't go on about that anymore, but I really like this. And Ethan Hooker did really well when he came on last week. He caught a couple of high balls, which perhaps they're still going to be leaning on. So I think our back three is particularly dangerous. Ethan Hooker, I've been calling for this man to start for the entire season. Not for every game, of course, but just I thought at least in the 4 opening season games against Italy and Georgia and the Barbarians that he would get some proper minutes. This guy is going to be a future talent, guys. Everyone in South Africa knows this. Whoever's watching my channel outside of South Africa, watch Ethan Hooker. He's going to be a mainstay in the Springbok team for years to come. So yes, I'm absolutely pumped for this side. I really like it. It speaks to me as if we're gonna be moving the ball around a little bit more. So perhaps that plays into New Zealand's hands. I don't know, because New Zealand did defend quite a lot more than we did last game, and we ended up on the wrong end of the draw. So, but I don't think that last week's match day 23 had the same bite as this. We certainly, in my opinion, have a slightly stronger pack this week. I know there's only subtle changes, but I just think that 8th man makes a big difference, and I think Lood de Jager is going to make a big difference as well. I still think Eben Etzebeth is our go-to man in the forelock, but he is running a little bit low on form at the moment. So let's give them a chance. In conclusion, guys, I'm excited for this. I thought the last game was pretty disappointing. I thought we made so many mistakes, and honestly, 2 or 3 handling errors that we just didn't. If we didn't make them, we might have been the better side on the Saturday. Congratulations to the Kiwis. I know it was a big record, and there was obviously a lot of pressure on you guys. I did a poll on one of my shorts, and everybody sort of agreed. It was in high agreement that the All Blacks were under far more pressure. So congrats to them. I do think that this week it's going to be a different beast in terms of the box. Not necessarily stronger. Could be, might not be, but I think it's going to be a totally different side. Not only in terms of selections, but in terms of how we're going to play and the different attributes that these different players, especially in our backline, bring. I do think our forward pack is stronger this week as well. So yes, I'm looking forward to this one. I've got a sense of positivity, even though last weekend or this past weekend was Disappointing in terms of most and all South African sport. Actually, we were lost by a record margin in the cricket. The Bok women unfortunately got knocked out by France. However, that was history in the making anyway. So congratulations to them. They are superstars, and they are really growing the game there and putting more eyes in South Africa on women's rugby, and we're all very proud of them. And yes, so in terms of the weekend, it was kind of disappointing, but there's a renewal of positivity in between my rugby fraternity, and I think the side has the potential to upset the All Blacks and perhaps by a little bit more than we think. So yes, thanks guys, and please subscribe and comment and hit that bell notification. It seriously helps the channel. I know I didn't do a video last week. Unfortunately, we were away, but yes, this is what we're here for. This All Black test. We need this one, guys. We need this one for the championship. So let's go for it. Thanks, guys. Cheers.